This is part 4 in the Read 1C Vise Rebuild series. If you haven't seen part 3, click the link at the top of the screen. In this video, we will be priming and painting. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff and welcome to my shop. We got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. So, my go-to primer is this self-etching primer from Rust-Oleum. And here is the number 249322. I love this stuff. And that's what we're going to be shooting as the primer. And for curious minds, probably one can would do this whole vise. And this is like a half a can that I'm going to end up having to switch out midway through. But we're here with the base, the swivel base, and we're going to shoot this side of it and then let that dry for about an hour, and then we'll come back and shoot the other side. And this is the static jaw and base. And since we've got that big area on the bottom that's masked off, we can shoot everything that needs to be kind of hit from the bottom and then flip it. And then we can shoot the rest of it. And then we'll set that aside and let it dry. So that's not going to need the second half shot because we shot the whole thing. And that's my dog barking at my neighbor. And this is the dynamic jaw, and we're going to prime that entire inside area. And then we can rest this on the masked section on the bottom and shoot the rest of it. So we get it all in one go on this as well. So here we are with the swivel base again, and now we're just shooting the other side. It's been about an hour. This is the paint we're going to be using. It is a matte ink blue Krylon Fusion, and the number for it right there, 2758. I think it's a nice color for this vise. So it's been a day since we shot the primer. And we're just going to shoot the paint. And my paint technique is one really thick coat rather than several light coats. Not recommended if you're not the best painter. So we'll come back and shoot the rest of that. And this is the static jaw and base. And I'm just going to get as much as we can on the inside area, and then we'll flip it. And then we should be able to shoot the rest of this thing all in one go. And I know that that paint looks kind of glossy now, but it is a matte, so it will, as it dries, dull. And here we are with the swivel base. We're going to shoot the bottom side first. That way, when we come back and shoot the top side, if the bottom gets a little messed up or whatever, it's not a huge problem because it's the bottom. And you can see me kind of cleaning up some of those runs. Like I said, I shoot a very thick coat. So it has been a day, and we're going to come back and shoot the rest of this dynamic jaw. Now, most of these paints will say that if you're going to do multiple coats or you're going to recoat, you need to do it within like 6 hours or wait 24, something along those lines. Well, so that's what we did. And this is the other side of the swivel base. And I've got these little plastic, I don't know what you want to call them. They were corner protectors for some kind of piece of furniture that my wife and I got at one point, and they're plastic, and they work great for this kind of stuff. But it's just resting on those in each one of those mounting holes. That made more sense than just sitting it on a board. So now we are a day after we shot all that. And we're going to come back and remove the masking. And we should have removed the masking the same day we painted, because it did take some paint, particularly on the dynamic jaw. And you'll see that when we get to it. And you can see how a lot of that masking is not coming up super easy around the edges of it. And that's because we waited a whole day and let that paint really start to set and cure. So I'm a big proponent of removing the masking about an hour or two after you've painted, rather than waiting a day or two. But fixing anything like that is not a problem since we're using spray paint. You start getting into mixed paint, or like the gray that I use for a lot of the Craftsman 70s era drill presses and stuff, is a formulated paint that I have to shoot with my air compressor and a gravity fed gun. Clean up on that is a real pain in the butt. So if I realize a day or two after I painted everything that I've got to come back and reshoot something, it's a lot more involved than just grabbing a spray paint can and shooting it again. It's one of the reasons why I use spray paint, so that if somebody needs to touch up something later on, it's not a problem. So here we are with the dynamic jaw, and we're going to go ahead and pull those plugs. I'm still being careful. I mean, this has only been 24 hours, and although the paint's not really tacky right now, I just don't want to press my finger into it, because especially with it being a thick coat of paint, there's a real big possibility you're going to leave a fingerprint in it. So lightly touching it, not a problem. And I try to handle most of these parts by the masked areas. And here we're going to come back and fix that little bitty section right there. And that tore away when we were removing the masking. That's what I'm talking about. So now we're just going to go ahead and pull that masking off the slide. And it's been about an hour since we shot that one little section. So we just got to make sure we don't touch it anywhere near there. And we're resting it where the jaws mount. So that's where that board is sitting. So the end that we painted is not actually touching the table. It's above it by about a ½ inch. And that's all the masking on that. So here we are with the static jaw and base, and we're just going to remove that masking off the bottom of it. And I've got it resting on that board under it where the jaws mount, so nothing that's painted is actually touching anything. And we got a little bit of bleed through there. But that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we will do some touch-up paint and then get on with assembly. As always, I appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.